All right, I've started recording. Welcome, everyone, to our Unmute and Recharge today, this Thursday afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We have three fabulous presenters with us today. We have Mr. Tijerina, Ms. Alfaro, and Ms. De Los Santos. They're all going to do some really cool tech activities with you. So thanks for joining us. If you haven't already registered, please register on the PD system. The session number is 306204. And it's also on the link in the chat. Please keep your mics muted. Feel free to ask questions in the chat if you have any of those questions. And don't forget to do the remote check-in, PSJA Tech, and we will have a door prize at the end of the session. So I am going to turn it over to Mr. Tijerina.
All right, good afternoon. I know I came in here and I had my camera off. I was preparing everything around my desk. I had a pretty big mess, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us do. So I just wanted to organize it a little bit. But again, good afternoon. I'm Mr. Tijerina. I wanted to speak about, or I wanted to present about Nearpod. I know we've heard Nearpod. We've been using it for a couple of years, but Nearpod's consistently adding new information or new tools that we can use. So I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. I don't know if you all can see it on your end. I hope we can.
Yes, we can.
All right, awesome. So I'm showing the presentation here. So Nearpod, being that we should already be familiar with it, Nearpod is consistently adding new features to help teachers monitor and adjust in real time using student input and responses. So I love that Nearpod has really capitalized on this by adding great features that teachers can use, right? So a great feature that we can use for knowledge checks, formative, summative assessments, or web and content information delivery is the add activity feature. And I know it was highlighted slightly in our last CIT meeting, well, last month's CIT meeting, not this past one. And we went over what the Nearpod activities or being able to add Nearpod activities in the middle of the lesson was like. So usually the Nearpods that we have are given to us by the district. I know us in science, I wrote the science curriculum. So we have a lot of all of our lessons are based on Nearpods. So they're very interactive, and sometimes we find more material either during, before, or any time in between that we want to add or show our kids. So one great feature that I love about Nearpod is the Nearpod activity. Add an activity. So first, I'm showing you all a screenshot of one of my lessons at the very bottom, right? So it's just like any other lesson. You'll find that in the very bottom, you'll look for your puzzle piece, correct? So once we find the puzzle piece located again at the bottom center, you're going to go ahead and click it. And once you click it, it's going to show you an add activity. So you can add another slide if you want to add more information. You can share a web content URL, which I will show shortly. You can even ask a question in an open-ended response, or you can open up a Draw It where you can share an image and the students can edit, and Nearpod will record that information for you, and also a true or false. Now, the reason why I like this is, again, us as teachers, we're consistently monitoring and adjusting, right? We're consistently monitoring and adjusting our lessons and trying to reach all students. So this is a great way to give the students a formative assessment or just a regular knowledge check. So I'm going to go ahead and come out here, and I'm going to ask if my fellow CITs and techie people can go ahead and come in here just so I can show what it kind of looks like. So I do have a Nearpod code, which is GFMEW. I just wanted to show what it looks like in real time. So GFMEW. I currently have it on, I currently have my screen or my Nearpod set to a Do Now, a collaborative board, which is also great in and of itself. I can speak about Nearpod all day. I've been using it for quite some time now. So if I can just have a couple of us join. If not, I'll go ahead and move on, and I'll show how we can add these activities in the middle of the lesson. All right, so I already have 3 of us in here. Awesome. I have Miss Lori, Mr. Marco Torres. Thank you for joining us. Miss Alfaro and Valentin. Awesome. We got the dream team on here. So let's go ahead and move on. So I'm going to go ahead and move on, let's say, to my vocabulary, right? So I'm going to start with the puzzle piece, right? if I click the puzzle piece on my side, we can come back to the teams. If we click the puzzle piece, it'll show me web content that I can add. So for example, if I want to add an open-ended question, I can go ahead and click here and I can ask, what is the role of the producers in a food chain, correct? And then now on your side, I can push it out. And on the student side, it would look like this. So they'll have a normal open-ended question. Of course, on the teacher side, now you can monitor. So those of you participating, you don't have to truly answer. You can just share something. And we can see their answers in real time. Awesome. So Mr. Valentin, they make their own food. Awesome. Thank you, Valentin, for sharing that with us. So now as a teacher, you can use this to also motivate the students, right? I know a lot of the time we want to ask the students, hey, raise your hand if you want to share something, but we know we're not always wanting to talk. So I love to use this as an opportunity to let everybody participate. Even our kids that, again, are too shy to speak, this is how I get the most engagement out of them. Oh, I don't feel like talking. Let me go ahead and type what I know. And I know only the teacher can see it. So it's great. I love it to be able to monitor and adjust. Once we're done with it, let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on your side. So in private, so I'm going to go ahead and right here. I can come here, copy link. So once I'm going to show you both side by side how the student and teacher side work. I'm going to go ahead and put my name, Katerina. Now you can magically see me on this side. I will hopefully be in here shortly. All right, there you go. They make their own food. Beautiful. Submit. And then once as a teacher, of course, on the student side, you'll see it on the right side. As a teacher, once you close it, it'll make sure you want to close it. Yes. And it'll bring them back to the regular Nearpod. Now, as a teacher, it'll load you back here. So again, on the left, I have teacher view, and on the right, I have student view for those of us that are following along. Another thing that I love to do, right? So let's say I'm working on something and I'm working on my food webs and anchor charts, and I want them to go over some of these things that we have here. Here's a video. Let me go ahead and pass that. So now let's say I want them to explore, right? And I found an activity right before I began this, and it's like, I forgot to put it in, or I don't know how to put it in exactly. We can come in here, and I found a great resource from, I believe this is PBS Kids. They have a little activity. So it's like, I want my kids to do this. I can go ahead and again, click my little puzzle piece, come to web content, go ahead and add my link, right? I'm going to add my link. You can preview it to make sure it's going to work, right? So usually the preview works great, or anything that you'll share works great. I share it to my kids, and it'll ask them to click to open web page, or usually it'll open it on their own. Excuse me, we have announcements. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So now the students can click here, and it'll automatically open a window that redirects them to the activity that I had for them. So let's say my students are doing their activity, whatever it may be. They put it in here. They continue. And let's say the allotted time that I had for this activity is over. What I love about adding a web link is that once you close it, it'll automatically close the web link for them as well. So if you're playing a Blooket, Gimkit, Kahoot, and these kids just love to stay on there and this and that or whatever, the window that opens for them will automatically close once you shut down the activity. So another thing, and everything else I feel is fairly self-explanatory in terms of draw it or true or false. Usually I love to lean towards the open-ended question, web content, and the true or false. That's usually what I lean towards within my class and has been the most beneficial for us. So the other thing I wanted to add, being that it's another little tidbit that I really enjoy about Nearpod, is the annotate feature. I love the annotate feature because as the students are following along, let's go back to the vocabulary. And this is where I usually use it the most within my vocabulary if I'm trying to highlight something on their screen, or this one right here. There you go. This is a perfect example right here. So another great feature is the annotate feature down here in the same area where we can find our add activity. When I annotate, right, again, on the left, I have my teacher screen, and on the right, I have my student screen. So let's say I want them to highlight, or I can ask my students, okay, I want you to give me an example of a food chain within this food web. So does anybody want to help me right now? those of you that are my tech people, does anybody want to help me find a food chain within my food web? All right, I'm assuming we're paying attention intently, so I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of the time and just continue, right?
So
we have,
carrot to
there we go.
rabbit to hawk.
All right, so from who to where? Mr.
Sun
Valentin?
to carrot to rabbit to hawk.
Beautiful, sun. So I can go ahead and come right here. Thank you, Mr. Valentin, for volunteering. Sun to carrot to rabbit and then to hawk. So I can highlight that. Not only would I be presenting it on my smartboard, but for those of us that are the students that tend to sit in the back where they can't see the board, or they're like, oh, they love to squint, or they forgot their glasses. Now they can see it on their screen. So I really love this feature as well. This is a great feature that teachers can use. I know we tend to use our smartboard a lot and all that information, but I just recently, I had a teacher that her smartboard went out completely. It wasn't working. Thankfully, tech got it fixed. But while she was trying to figure out how to deliver her lesson, she's like, well, how can I do it? So I showed her how to use Nearpod this way, where the students can follow along instead of just everybody getting into Google Teams and do this. No, everybody follow along in your Nearpod, and you can present everything that you usually present on your smartboard on their own screen. So I love these features in Nearpod. So again, I can talk about this all day, but I'm pretty sure that's my allotted time. Does anybody have any questions on how they can apply it within their classroom, or what kind of things we can add here? Does anybody have any questions at all?
There's no questions on the chat.
All right, awesome. So I'll go ahead and hand it over to you all. Thank you very much for listening to me. If you all have any questions, go ahead and let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. I loved that puzzle piece. I really haven't used that as a presenter and added it to my lessons. So I think that's amazing. And that's a great tool for teachers to use. So thank you, Mr. Tijanema, for sharing that with us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. And our next two presenters are changing topic a little bit because they're both going with the AI field, the hot topic out there in tech right now. So next up, we have Stephanie Alfaro with CuriePod. So take it away, Stephanie.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So yes, I am going to be presenting on AI. Kind of like Debbie said, AI has been a really big deal this year, I think, mainly this year. It did start last year, but there's been a lot of new websites and resources for teachers this year that I've seen the most. So let me share my screen really quick. Okay, can y'all see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so my website, I guess, that I'm going to be sharing with y'all is called CuriePod. Has anyone heard of CuriePod? No? Yes? Yes.
I know I haven't.
To
We're
me,
getting a few yeses and some nos.
Okay. To me, it was very new. The person that actually told me was my husband. He's another teacher at another district, and he just started. So this website has been helping him a lot because that district doesn't give him any resources. He has to create his own lessons and his own PowerPoint. So he found CuriePod, and it's been like a holy grail for him because it gives him all of his lessons. Most of them, not all of them. He does some of the work from the textbooks, but it has been giving him really good lessons to follow. And I tried it maybe 2 weeks ago. I did one for math and one for grammar, and I didn't do like the whole lesson with my students, but I did get some information from the AI that was given. So CuriePod they have a lot of features. I do have the website in case you all want to follow with me. Let me share it really quickly on the Teams. Oh. I have it here. So once you go into CurryPod, and I hope I'm saying it correctly, because like I said, it is very new to me. It's going to give you like the sign in with your Google and your email. I signed in through my Google, and this is where it takes me. The first screen that I saw was this right here. So these are all the available activities that you could do with the students. I know the main ones that I've seen a lot on, and I don't have TikTok, but I've seen it on their website. They have a little TikTok videos and tutorials. Was the, let me look for it over here. Oh, it's right here. The brain breaks. Those are, and they're already generated through AI, so you don't have to be typing or creating your own. And it's very fast. I've tried that one with my students, and usually the ones that I've done with AI have been really good. But the one that I do want to share with you all today is the full lesson. So CurryPod does give you a full lesson for a certain subject that you type into their AI. So I am going to go to this one right here where it says full lesson. And then once you're there, it takes you to this screen. I am in 4th grade, so I'm going to put 4th grade. And usually what I put is my TEKS. It does say standard, so I'm assuming that it's following the, not the TEKS, but the other ones from the other states. But it's still been helpful. So let's say this week I'm doing equivalent fractions. So I did go into our district resources, and I just got the TEKS from there. Let me find it really quickly. Oh, and I am a bit behind. But this is the TEKS that I was working on this week, which is equivalent fractions. I'm just going to copy and then go back to the CurryPod and paste. So the TEKS is determine if two given fractions are equivalent using a variety of methods. And then you click on do magic. And it does take a couple of minutes for it to load. Let's see how long it takes this time. Okay, well, that's loading. Like I did mention, I have done 2 full lessons like this. But again, I don't use it with my kids because you're going to see right now that they're not as, how can I say it? I guess like AI does its job. It gives me all the information, but I think it's a little bit too much for the kids. So I do have to tweak it around and take some things out, which it does allow you. Okay, here we go. So this is a lesson that it generated. It generated all of these slides that are here on the left side, which is 1 all the way to 14. And it does follow the lesson cycle. So it starts with the TEKS that we're going to be covering, which is usually what we have to do at the beginning of the lesson. We show the students the TEKS, and this is what I mean that it was following the Common Core standards. Oh, but it also shows the TEKS. So it starts with the TEKS, and then it gives you the definition of what equivalent fractions are. And then I'm on the 5th one, on the 5th slide. If you see here on the top, it's going to be a poll. So it asks questions throughout the lesson. It's not just one, how can I say it? One regular lesson where the teacher's just talking and talking and talking. It is interactive with the students. So the students would be using their computers to work on this poll. And if I keep on going, it gives you a couple more definitions and explaining a little bit more. But now right here in slide 8, it has the option to draw. So the kids are able to draw an example right here. And then it even gives you, I'm going to go to the bottom, an exit ticket. That's what I really liked. And that's the feature that I've mainly been using. So I don't have to think about my own exit ticket. And I know the curriculum does give exit tickets as well. But some of my students finish those like in a minute, and there's still more time. So I get another one from here and I add it to my lesson. Okay. And then I did want to share that you do not have to use all of the 12 slides. So let's say you do want to share this with the students, you like it, and you decide to share it, you could click on the ones that you want. So let's say I'm going to click on the first slide and I want to add it to my lesson. Let me see. And it would go here to the bottom. And let's say you decide to take out 4 and 5, then you could delete them. And all the ones that are here in the bottom are the ones that are going to be shared with the students once you present. The only thing that I haven't found out yet is how to put it into the Google Classroom. But what the students need to do in order to get into the lesson, and I'm going to show you right now. So I would go here to present on the top right, and it gives you the option present from the beginning or preview with student device and big screen in your own pace. But I've been pressing this one right here, present from the beginning. And I'm going to go here in the bottom where it says where it gives you the icon of the person, and it says click here to let your students join. And this is the code that they would have to go into to join. So they do have to go to Curie.live. They're going to type that in their search bar, and then they put the code. And then you should be seeing the students popping up. And then you continue with the lesson. And once students are in, you are going to see that the poll, it shows you, and in case you don't remember which one's the poll, it shows you here in the bottom which one is the poll. And you could even add a little, well, it gives you the timer, but you could add more time to that timer. And I really like the timer because it does help a lot. That's what I'm working on this year, finishing all my lessons on time. And then, yeah, once you're done, I am going to exit. And I would be done with my lesson. But again, there is a lot of nice features. I've only done the free version. I know you could do a paid version, but with the free version, I haven't had any issues yet. And I have done maybe like 5 lessons that I've been able to do and get information from. Any questions on CuriePod?
There's no questions on the chat.
No.
I do only have one question. Can you edit the slides? Like if you want to edit like the words or the content?
Oh, yes. Yes. So once you were in the,
Like on the lesson slides?
yeah, like the one that I was on, let's say did you see how I went back to the lesson?
Yes.
And then right here, I could remove anything that I want or add to it.
Or add. Okay, perfect. Awesome. And I love that you can delete. What a great tool to for teachers if you just want a quick lesson and pull something up, and it's awesome.
Yes, it was really nice.
Thank you for sharing. Hopefully some people will try that out and share that with the students. Okay, we have one more presentation, and it's also on AI. And these tools are like teacher assistants, right? So welcome to Lori De Los Santos. She is up next, and she has another teacher assistant tool to present to you. Take it away, Lori.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lori De Los Santos. I'm the CLL and CIT at Henry Ford Elementary. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my presentation, and it is on another type of AI. So this AI is called Magic School. And so a quick overview on what Magic School is. It's a 60 plus easy AI-powered tools that help teachers plan lessons, differentiate, communicate with staff and parents and the community, and a lot more. Not only a tool for teachers, but also for your administrators, counselors, anybody on your campus can use this tool. So these are some of the things that Magic School can help you with. It can help you create instructional materials, can help you differentiate different texts. It can help you engage with families and the community with newsletters and emails, and it can also generate original content for you and for your lessons. Okay, so logging into Magic School, this is the website, and you can sign in with your Google account. And so Magic School did have a free trial of all of the tools, or all the tools are available, but just the extensions or the additional are not available anymore. But you can do so much with the tools that are on the free version. So I'm going to go over a few of my favorites, and you can star once you go through them and you figure out the ones that are most useful for you or the ones that you like the most. You can star them, and they will show up over here on your favorites. Okay, so the first one I wanted to go over is the DOK questions. And so this tool generates different levels of questioning for you. So I like this because when I plan with teachers or teachers plan, we have them, think of different DOK questions for their lessons. And this is a really useful tool. So for example, we can go into, let's say, 5th grade, and they're doing energy, including mechanical, electrical, light, and sound. Okay, you generate, and it will create the different DOK questions for you. Okay, you can click copy up here to copy the entire, everything that it generated. Then you can paste it on another document. Okay, so this one's really cool. Very quickly, it came up with several questions for each DOK level. Okay, so that one is on DOK questions. The next one I wanted to go over is the math story word problems. And so this one will create story problems for you, and it'll give you, and you can specify what topic you want it to base your story problems on. And so here it gives you kind of an example. You can also click up here on the exemplar, on the little star, and it'll give you an example. This one says 7th grade. They want 7 questions on multiplying and dividing fractions. And then it said right here on the story topic, managing money and investing. And it gives you like an example. Okay, so we'll put in our own. And we'll just say, let's say you're doing like a Saturday tutoring and you have like a theme for that Saturday. So I'm a 4th grade teacher and I want 7 questions. And let's just say that the Dallas Cowboys are playing in the Super Bowl. Let's do perimeter. Okay, and so it'll come up with story problems based on the information that I inputted. So that's a really cool feature. I know a lot of the times kids like to like have their name in the story problem. So you can do the same 4th grade 5. Let's do volume and include Debbie at the beach. Okay, and it'll generate story problems with Debbie having a fun day at the beach related to volume. Okay, so that is math story problems. Another one I want to go over real quick is the YouTube video questions. So for this one, you grab a link from YouTube. You can either, and it'll generate questions based on the video. So you can ask it to create multiple choice, free response, or true or false. So here, let me just go to YouTube real quick. Just grab it. So you just copy the link.
Little fox.
You paste it here. And it'll generate the questions for you. It'll give you the answer key and it'll tell you where the answers are found in the video. So that's a quick and easy one that is also useful. This one on lesson plan, this one helps you generate a lesson plan. So we can do the same one. And again, up here, you can click on exemplar and it'll give you an example. And then you can input your own. So we can do, again, 5th grade energy. Mechanical, light. Okay. And then we're aligned to TEKS. So it'll give you your objective, assessment, key points or background knowledge that you may need to know, how to introduce the lesson, new material, guided practice and independent practice for your students, and then how to close your lesson. It'll even give you additional activities for an extension and homework, and it'll tell you what it's aligned to, what TEKS it's aligned to. Okay, so very cool, very easy. And the last one I wanted to go over are teacher observations. This is good for administrators and even, sometimes CLLs go in and sit in and, we help teachers. So this is a very good one when you're trying to put things like on paper or if you're going to have a conversation with a teacher. So you would put in areas of strength. So let's just say teacher had good classroom management. And we also noticed that there was procedures in place. Okay, then areas for growth, let's say that they need to develop higher order thinking questions. And so additional feedback, we're going to ask the teacher to meet with your mentor teacher. Okay, so you generate it and then it'll word it very nicely for you. So your classroom management skills were exceptional. Students were engaged and on task throughout the lesson. Procedures were in place. And then here are your opportunities for growth. And then your next steps to meet with your mentor teacher. Okay. And then since I do not have the extended version or the paid version, I'm not able to use these tools. So these are, if you click on them, it'll give you additional information. There's other actions, but you do need the paid version. You could also, if you have the paid version, and let's say you generated a quiz, you could export it into Google Docs, into Microsoft Word. The quizzes, though, would be able to be exported into Google Forms, but that's, again, with the paid version. But you can just copy paste. And so there's tons and tons and tons of tools on this website. Makes teacher life so easy. I would highly recommend for you all to explore this website. and find the ones that, fit your needs. Are there any questions?
It's been a really bunch of good comments coming on from the crowd saying, Stephanie said that she will be using it on Saturday tutoring.
Yep.
Sinat is saying that it's a very relevant tool, which we agree. And great. I think you did a really good job.
Thank you. And let me know if you need any help navigating through the site or through any of the tools, and we can work through them.
It's pretty user friendly, it looks like. And
Yes,
like
very.
you said, there's just gobs and gobs of tools.
Mhm.
Like it is a great teacher assistant for any teacher. Even if you get a little bit from it, like I liked the report card comments.
Mhm.
Sometimes you run out of things to say or whatever, and you want to say it in a more positive way. And
Right.
it's such a great help.
Mhm.
So,
Even for
awesome.
your counselors, there's
Yes.
IEP recommendations, there's behavior intervention plan recommendations, newsletter. There's just everything is on there.
Awesome. Awesome tools today, everybody. Thank you so much for presenting 3 really great presentations. And thank you everyone for being here. We're going to go ahead and have a door prize drawing, so don't leave. So you do have to be present to win. We do have one session next week. We have a Star Tech ELA grammar time. That will be beginning at 4:30 on Tuesday. So if you're interested in seeing some modeling for ELA and grammar, please join us that day. We have some expert teachers helping us and with some good strategies. So that will be next week at 4:30. I just put the link of the session in the Teams link in the chat if you're interested in that. Sebastian said his reference was the Cowboys making it to the Super Bowl.
We totally
Right.
got that reference, Mr. Tijerina.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to make it clear that I wasn't putting AI down.
It's all
AI
good.
is a great tool, and apparently it makes dreams come true as well. So
I was gonna
it's
say
it's great to have it.
the kids could dream in the classroom and learn at the same time.
And apparently adults can dream as well. So
There you go. I love it. Okay, let's ready. We're gonna have one door prize today. So I just shuffled 3 times. I'll shuffle one more for good measure. And here we go. Let's see who our winner is gonna be. And I forgot to share the sound, but we'll get to see who the winner is. Looks like it's gonna be Martha. Martha, are you still here with us?
She's here, yes.
Yay!
Where is it? Yes.
Unmute. Go unmute. Unmute over there.
Yes.
Yay, you are a lucky winner of our door prize today.
Yay. Thank you.
We'll be bringing it by your campus and then probably by next week sometime.
All right. Thank you.
So congratulations. And thank you again, everybody, for attending. Have a wonderful evening and a great Friday coming up.
Likewise.